What if I told you that some of the greatest robberies of all time weren't just the stuff of Hollywood movies? Nope. These real-life heists were so daring, so unbelievable, that even the best screenwriters couldn't have made them up. Some were executed with brilliant strategy, others with sheer luck, and a few were just ridiculously bold. But here's the big question. Did they get away with it? Today, we're diving into the top 5 greatest heists in history that actually happened. In the early hours of August 8, 1963, a group of 15 criminals executed one of the most famous train heists in history. The target? A Royal Mail train traveling from Glasgow to London, carrying millions of pounds in cash. Here's how they pulled it off. The gang tampered with the railway signals, forcing the train to stop at a remote location. Once halted, they overpowered the train's crew, disconnecting the rest of the train and moving the valuable money-filled car to a quieter location. Now, here's the wild part. They barely used any weapons. Instead, they relied on intimidation, precision timing, and inside information. Once they had the cash, around 2.6 million pounds at the time, over 50 million pounds today, they fled to a hideout and celebrated with a game of Monopoly, using real stolen cash. Unfortunately, that Monopoly game led to their downfall. Police found fingerprints on the game board left behind at the hideout, leading to multiple arrests. Lesson learned: never play Monopoly with stolen money. Imagine breaking into one of the most secure diamond vaults in the world, guarded by 10 layers of security, including infrared motion sensors, heat detectors, and steel doors. Sounds impossible, right? Well, in 2003, a group of highly skilled criminals did just that in what's now called the Antwerp Diamond Heist. Led by Leonardo Notarbartolo, the gang rented an office in the same building as the vault months before the heist. Posing as legitimate businessmen, they studied security patterns, duplicated keys, and planned every move with military precision. Then, on February 15th, 2003, they disabled security cameras, bypassed alarms, and emptied 123 safety deposit boxes filled with diamonds, gold, and cash worth over $100 million. Here's where it gets frustrating. The police had no leads for days. This could have been the perfect crime until Notarbartolo threw out a trash bag filled with evidence on the side of a road. A random farmer discovered it, and inside were receipts, security tapes, and even half-eaten sandwiches that linked them to the crime. Yes, a sandwich ruined a $100 million heist. What if I told you that a group of thieves spent 3 months digging a tunnel to a bank vault, right under the noses of security? That's exactly what happened in Brazil in 2005, in one of the most insane heists ever. The thieves rented a building near the Banco Central in Fortaleza, pretending to run a landscaping company. Every day, they acted like normal workers. But underground, they were secretly digging a 250-foot tunnel directly to the bank's vault. The tunnel was so well constructed, it had lights, ventilation, and wooden supports. Then, on the weekend of August 6th to 7th, when the bank was closed, they broke through the vault floor and stole 160 million Brazilian reals, around $70 million. By the time the bank reopened on Monday, the thieves were long gone. The heist was so clean, the alarms never went off. But of course, no heist is perfect. The police caught some members after they started spending large amounts of cash too quickly. Pro tip: if you suddenly go from broke to millionaire overnight, people will notice. One of the greatest unsolved heists in history took place on March 18, 1990, when 2 thieves, dressed as police officers, walked into the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston. They told the security guards there had been a disturbance, and when the guards let them in, They were tied up and left in the basement. With the museum now empty, the thieves spent 81 minutes carefully selecting their loot. They stole 13 pieces of priceless artwork, including paintings by Vermeer, Rembrandt, and Degas, worth over $500 million. Even today, it remains the biggest unsolved art heist in history. Despite FBI investigations, countless leads, and millions in reward money, not a single piece has been recovered. Was it the work of professional criminals? The mafia? We may never know. But one thing's for sure. Somewhere, someone might have a $200 million Rembrandt in their attic. If you think criminals are all young, tech-savvy masterminds, think again. The Hatton Garden heist was pulled off by a gang of elderly men aged between 58 and 76. Yes, a group of senior citizens pulled off one of the biggest burglaries in UK history. On April 2nd, 2015, during an Easter weekend when the bank was closed, the gang drilled into the Hatton Garden safe deposit facility in London. Using power tools and old-school methods, they bypassed security and accessed hundreds of safety deposit boxes, stealing an estimated $200 million in jewels, gold, and cash. For days, no one suspected a thing, until investigators reviewed grainy CCTV footage and saw old men carrying duffel bags filled with stolen goods. The biggest mistake? They bragged about it in a pub, leading police to their location. Moral of the story? If you pull off a $200 million heist, maybe don't discuss it over drinks. And there you have it, the 5 greatest heists in history that actually happened. Until next time, stay curious. And one more thing, maybe keep an eye on your valuables.